For thousands of years, the Sahara Desert has stood as the ultimate symbol of isolation, an endless sea of sand stretching across North Africa, hostile to life and seemingly untouched by water. But beneath the waves off the coast of Mauritania, scientists uncovered evidence that shattered this image forever. In 2009, a sonar survey conducted deep in the Atlantic Ocean revealed something extraordinary hidden beneath the seabed. The drowned remains of an ancient coastline, complete with submerged river channels, collapsed cliffs, and traces of a landscape that once stood above the ocean. What researchers discovered suggested an almost unbelievable truth. The Sahara was not always a desert. Long ago, parts of it were green, fertile, and connected directly to a thriving Atlantic coastline. This discovery would rewrite how historians, geologists, and archaeologists understood North Africa's forgotten past. The desert that was once alive. Today, the Sahara covers nearly 9 million square kilometers, making it the largest hot desert on Earth. Temperatures can rise above 50 degrees Celsius. Rain is rare. Life survives only in scattered oases and along its outer edges. But the Sahara has not always looked this way. Satellite imagery, fossil records, and ancient cave paintings have long hinted at another Sahara, a lost world that existed thousands of years ago. Deep inside the desert, explorers discovered paintings of giraffes, crocodiles, hippos, and massive herds of cattle painted onto cave walls. These images appeared in places where almost no permanent water exists today. For decades, historians asked the same question. Why would ancient humans paint river animals in the middle of the world's driest desert? The answer slowly emerged through geology. Between roughly 14,500 and 5,000 years ago, North Africa experienced what scientists now call the African Humid Period. During this era, monsoon rains moved far northward into the Sahara. Grassland spread across regions now buried under dunes. Rivers flowed. Giant lakes appeared. Wildlife flourished. The Sahara was green. But scientists still lack one crucial piece of the puzzle. How far did this ancient world extend? That answer would begin to emerge far from the desert itself, beneath the Atlantic Ocean. The expedition off Mauritania. In 2009, marine researchers working off the coast of Mauritania launched a high-resolution sonar mapping project across sections of the continental shelf. Their goal was not initially to rewrite history. The mission focused on studying underwater geological structures and sediment layers beneath the Atlantic seafloor. Using multi-beam sonar technology, researchers scanned the submerged landscape in remarkable detail. The system sent acoustic pulses downward and measured the time it took for sound waves to bounce back. What appeared on their screens stunned the team. Instead of a flat ocean floor, they observed unmistakable shapes carved into the seabed. Ancient river valleys, cliff formations, channels winding toward the Atlantic. These structures could not have formed underwater. They had been carved by flowing freshwater on dry land. The sonar images revealed a submerged coastal world hidden beneath the sea, and the scale was enormous. Some underwater channels stretched for kilometers, indicating that powerful rivers once crossed territory that is now both desert and ocean. Researchers realized they were looking at the remains of a prehistoric landscape swallowed by rising seas thousands of years earlier. The Sahara's western edge had once extended far beyond today's coastline, the drowned rivers. As scientists analyzed the sonar data, they uncovered evidence of ancient drainage systems buried beneath layers of marine sediment. These channels resembled river networks visible today from satellites in other parts of the world. But these rivers no longer existed. They belonged to a vanished age. Geologists concluded that during wetter climatic periods, rainfall across North Africa fed massive river systems flowing westward into the Atlantic Ocean. Some may have carried water seasonally. Others could have flowed year-round. The implications were staggering. If rivers reached the Atlantic from deep inside the Sahara, then vast regions of modern desert must once have supported forests, grasslands, wetlands, and human populations. This was no isolated oasis. It was an entire ecosystem. And then came an even more surprising realization. The underwater formations aligned with known paleoriver systems identified from satellite scans beneath the modern Sahara. In other words, rivers discovered underwater connected directly to fossil riverbeds buried beneath desert sands. The pieces fit together perfectly. The Sahara had once possessed a living hydrological network linking inland Africa to the Atlantic coast. A coastline lost to time. At the peak of the last ice age, enormous amounts of Earth's water were locked inside glaciers, covering much of the northern hemisphere. Sea levels were dramatically lower than today, in some places by more than 100 meters. This meant the Atlantic coastline off Mauritania once extended far outward into areas now underwater. Human beings may have walked across lands currently buried beneath the ocean. Animals migrated there. Rivers crossed the plains, and communities could have flourished along fertile coastal zones. Then the climate changed. As the ice age ended, glaciers melted rapidly. Global sea levels rose. Coastlines disappeared beneath advancing oceans. The sonar images captured the frozen memory of this transformation. The drowned valleys and submerged cliffs marked the borders of a world erased by water. Researchers believe these coastal environments may have remained habitable for thousands of years before finally vanishing beneath the Atlantic. And if humans live there, traces of their existence may still rest beneath layers of sediment offshore. The mystery of ancient migration. The discovery raised another profound question. Could these lost coastlines explain ancient human migration routes across North Africa? For decades, archaeologists struggled to understand how prehistoric populations crossed the Sahara. Today, such journeys would be nearly impossible without advanced technology. But during the African Humid Period, the landscape was entirely different. Rivers and lakes created natural corridors through the desert. The newly discovered submerged river systems suggested that Western Sahara may once have served as a major route connecting inland Africa to the Atlantic coast. This would have allowed humans, animals, and ideas to travel across regions now considered impassable. Some researchers believe these fertile corridors help support the spread of early pastoral societies. Others suggest they may even hold clues about cultural exchanges between sub-Saharan Africa and North Africa long before recorded history. The drowned coastline became more than a geological curiosity. It became evidence of a forgotten human world. The Green Sahara Civilization Theory. The Sonar discovery also fueled growing interest in what some researchers call the Green Sahara Civilization Theory. This idea does not claim a lost supercivilization existed beneath the sands. Instead, it proposes that North Africa during humid periods supported large, interconnected populations far earlier than previously believed. Archaeological evidence increasingly supports this possibility. Stone tools, burial sites, fishing harpoons, pottery fragments, and cattle remains have all been discovered deep inside the Sahara. Some ancient lake beds show signs of long-term settlement. Rock art reveals organized hunting scenes and domesticated animals. The Sahara may once have been one of Africa's great habitable regions. Then climate collapse transformed it. As rainfall patterns shifted southward around 5,000 years ago, lakes dried up, grasslands disappeared, rivers vanished. Human populations were forced to migrate. Some moved toward the Nile Valley. Others traveled south into sub-Saharan Africa. The desert expanded relentlessly, burying traces of the old world beneath dunes and sandstorms. The underwater discoveries off Mauritania added dramatic new evidence to this story. Not only had the Sahara once been green, its coastline had been radically different as well. Why the discovery matters today. At first glance, submerged river valleys beneath the Atlantic may seem like ancient history with little relevance to modern life, but the implications reach far beyond archaeology. The discovery demonstrates how dramatically Earth's climate can reshape entire continents. Regions that appear permanent today may once have looked completely different. The Sahara transformed from grasslands into desert within a few thousand years, a relatively short period in geological terms. Coastlines vanished beneath rising seas. Ecosystems collapsed. Human societies migrated. Scientists studying modern climate change see important lessons in these ancient transformations. The drowned landscape off Mauritania stands as proof that environmental change can permanently alter civilizations and geography. It also reminds humanity how much of Earth's history remains hidden. Some of the most important chapters of our past may lie underwater, buried beneath sand or concealed beneath layers of sediment waiting to be discovered. The technology that revealed the past. None of this would have been possible without advances in sonar mapping technology. For centuries, the ocean floor remained largely invisible to human eyes. Traditional exploration methods could only sample small areas. Modern multi-beam sonar changed everything. By sending thousands of sound pulses across wide underwater regions, researchers can now create detailed 3D maps of submerged landscapes. Ancient river systems, shipwrecks, fault lines, and even human-made structures can sometimes be identified from acoustic imagery alone. The 2009 Mauritanian survey demonstrated the extraordinary power of this technology. It revealed not merely geological formations, but an entire lost environment hidden beneath the Atlantic. And scientists believe many more drowned landscapes remain undiscovered around the world. From the North Sea to Southeast Asia, rising oceans erase enormous portions of prehistoric human territory after the Ice Age. Entire chapters of human history may still rest beneath shallow continental shelves. What may still be hidden? The sonar discovery opened the door, but many mysteries remain unresolved. Could archaeological sites exist beneath the submerged coastline? Did prehistoric communities live along these drowned rivers? What animals inhabited the region before desertification? And how rapidly did the environment collapse? Future underwater expeditions may provide answers. Sediment cores taken from offshore regions could preserve pollen, plant remains, and microscopic evidence revealing what the ancient Sahara once looked like. Advanced underwater drones may one day search for signs of human activity beneath layers of mud and sand. Researchers are particularly interested in locating ancient freshwater deposits and former estuaries where early humans may have settled. If such sites are discovered, they could dramatically reshape understanding of African prehistory. The lost coastline of Mauritania may represent only one fragment of a much larger vanished world, the Sahara before the sands. Today, when people imagine Sahara, they picture endless dunes beneath a burning sun. But beneath those sands lies another memory, a memory of rivers, grasslands, rainstorms, wildlife, and coastlines stretching into places now claimed by the sea. The 2009 sonar discovery off Mauritania did more than uncover submerged geological formations. It revealed the ghosts of forgotten Earth, a world where Sahara breathed with life, a world where humans may have traveled across fertile plains now drowned beneath the Atlantic Ocean. And perhaps most importantly, it reminded us that landscapes are never permanent. Deserts can become green. Oceans can swallow continents. And history itself can vanish beneath sand and water until technology uncovers it once more. The Sahara still guards many secrets. But beneath the waves off Mauritania, one of them has finally begun to emerge.